This is Apostle Dr. Ian Cummins coming to you with Capacity Building Booster. We stop on dealing with multiplication. Remember, we spoke about faith and multiplication in terms of building components of your capacity. And we stop on multiplication. I said, if your capacity is small, it is difficult for you to step out. We want to talk on enlightenment. And enlightenment in terms of trees need light to grow. Light, we talk about enlightenment. So the Bible tells us that we are trees of righteousness. So we need to do some things with what God has given to us. I think it was the late Bob Marley who sang, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. So water represents a place of resources and satisfaction. But in the abundance of that, he said in his song, fools are thirsty. So what it is now is that you can be surrounded by resources, but yet still be in lack. Surrounded by resources, but yet still be in lack. I believe that the church is a place of empowerment, is a place of enlightenment. I always see the church as a gate. It's really a place of access, a place where information is released. But then when you really begin to evaluate, most church folks are really not functioning at the level of the capacity God has ordained for them to function. But they're in the right environment. Because we talk about enlightenment, so you can be surrounded by resources but yet still be in lack. Why? Because change in those areas, even with this building capacity concept, these things are intentional. So we said now, why this is like this? You do not know how to tap into the resources because most people don't really know how to tap into the resources. So we need to stop now sitting on the sidelines and making excuses like the world, allow the world to outshine us. Because I'm telling you, there are a lot of folks just making excuses. Why? But yet we are in an environment that is conducive for change, a place of information and revelation. I think on Facebook, I'm doing the 4 levels of human existence. This is something we did for a while now. And based on that teaching, 4 levels of human existence, we need to move now from the begging level to the digging level, and then to the money level, and finally to the wealth level. So these are different levels of human existence. So you find out that when it comes to capacity, if you are at a begging level, then you have to dig your way out. So enlightenment is important because what happens with enlightenment speaks about revelation, information, knowledge that God will shine, God will allow to come. But then when it shines on you, when you receive it, then what are you doing with it? The responsibility now is upon us to really move with that. So we look at faith, we look at multiplication and enlightenment. These are components of our capacity that needs to build. Let's chat a little bit about the 8 capacity building blocks. 8 capacity building blocks. This is going to take us for a little while. I will just mention the 8 for you and we'll just start with 1. So the 8 capacity building blocks. Number 1, the mental thinking capacity, faith capacity, financial capacity, giving capacity, character capacity, integrity capacity, heart, emotional capacity, and managing capacity. So these are 8 capacity building blocks that we want to touch. So I'm going to introduce the first one, which is the mental or thinking capacity. Your thinking capacity affects your speaking capacity or your asking capacity. And your speaking affects your receiving capacity. Now, when it comes to the thinking, the mental is critical in terms of building capacity. I want you to just hear me with this. The mental is critical when it comes to building. I believe that is the first component that needs to be worked on. Your mental or your mindset, your thinking capacity. Because as a man thinketh in his heart or mind, so is he. Because remember, when you begin to think, you perceive things. So your thinking capacity affects your speaking. Because if my thinking is small, then my speaking is small. If my thinking is small, then my perception, how I perceive things, is small. Then if I think small, if I see small, if I speak small, guess what? I receive small. So one of the critical components, the first component that needs to be built is your thinking capacity, your mindset. Because if I'm thinking small, I'm going to see small, I'm going to speak small. In other words, I'm going to act small. I want to stop here. I want you just to go over this, review it, look at it, because we're going to get into the whole concept of building these areas of our capacity, your thinking capacity, your capacity to see, visual, your capacity to speak, your capacity to receive. I want to stop here. This is Apostle Dr. Ian Cummins. I'm glad that you are able to connect with me. I pray that God will use this platform to stretch as we extrapolate this concept on capacity. I pray that God is stretching your mindset and your thinking, challenging you to read a book, read. change your environment, read, connect with people who are already where you want to go, who already did the things that you're doing. Connect. Association breeds transformation. So as you take this with me, I pray that God will richly bless you. I pray that doors will begin to open to you. Have a blessed day. This is Apostle Dr. Ian Cummins. God bless you.